All right. Again, happy Thursday, everyone. Mike Snyder with Advanced Wireless Communication. Welcome to our short little webinar today on combating staff shortages. Just a couple of things to lay the ground rules here, so to speak. I am doing this a little bit differently than I normally do these, in the fact that I actually have been out visiting some customers, and timing and scheduling kind of got confused. So you can see, if you see my picture, I'm literally sitting in a car in Florida, but woe is me in beautiful Florida, doing this presentation. So I apologize that it's not how we normally do it, but I think we'll get the same effect. So without further ado, let's jump into this. The other thing I wanted to just mention to everyone who's attending to this, I am recording this session, and upon completion, you guys will be getting an email with a link to this presentation. So if you want to share that with someone, please do so, no problem. But we are recording this for some of the people who sign up and who aren't able to make it. We like to send it out just in case they want to take a look at it. So here's the agenda. I want to talk a little bit about the impact of staff shortages. You guys are living it every day, but just kind of refresh some of the things that we're hearing from the field. And by the way, this webinar was created based on tons of feedback that I'm getting from people just like you, and things that I'm hearing from them, and some of the challenges that they have. And I thought, well, maybe this would be a good time to let people know that there are other options and other ways to maybe help with the staff and staff shortages. So, as I said, the agenda is defining the impact of staff shortages. We're going to talk a little bit leveraging what you have today, how to make that maybe work better and help you, how automation can reduce staff stress, what can be accomplished today. So we're going to start with that, and then we'll finish out with a quick introduction of who we are, Advanced Wireless, and the one platform. So I'm planning on this being about 20 to 25 minutes. And at the end, I certainly will open it up for any questions that you may have. So impact of staff shortages, you guys probably could add to this list, but these are the things that I'm hearing people tell me on a daily basis. I just heard it this morning from a meeting. Workloads are increasing, right? There's fewer and fewer staff, the demands are growing. I'm seeing closing of rooms or facilities. It seems to be epidemic proportions across the United States. Stressful work environment leading to staff burnout. When I ask an administrator, tell me kind of what's going on here. How would you describe your environment? And I have to chuckle a little bit because they always say it with a smile. Usually the word they use is chaos, controlled chaos. So that typically is stressful on staff, because the people, and you work with them every day, you guys are very admirable people in this profession, how you care and want to give the best care for the residents. So our company has a tremendous amount of respect for that. Frustration stemming from the inability to deliver adequate care, and that's just either through systems or just not having enough people. But these, again, are impacts of shortages that you guys are dealing with. Turnover, increase in mistakes caused by having too much to do. I can't tell you how many places I've been into where I see people with Post-it notes on them, with notes about to do charting at the end of the shift, and handwritten notes on literally on their hands, and how frustrating that can be. The financial strain of reduced revenues. We were just at a place this morning, and they're at about 60% occupancy, so they're feeling the stress, definitely. Increased labor costs, especially when you have to bring in supplemental staff and overtime. More charting errors are impacting reimbursement. A term that I've been told that people resonate with is leakage. What kind of leakage do you have when it comes to charting? Things that were just, at the end of the day, I forgot about these 3 or 4 things. So those three or four things certainly add up to your revenues for reimbursement purposes, unless you're private pay. Adverse outcomes for residents, nobody wants that. Obviously, we want to do the best job we can to take care of them. Sumit had this to say: senior living communities are ecosystems of tools and processes, many of them standalone deployments. To truly improve satisfaction for residents and staff, A technology needs to unify the experience. And this is the whole point of this webinar is we are hearing this on a daily basis. They got all these different systems, but they kind of work. They're partially deployed, et cetera. And to really get the full benefit out of technology, it's the ability to unify and bring technology together in interoperability. So first thing I want to talk about is leveraging what you have today. What I hear many people say is, listen, our budgets are so restrained, we have to make do with what we have. I can't afford to go out and buy a brand new, for example, nurse call system. I can't do it. I want to do it, but I can't do it. Well, I want you to know there are options out there where you don't have to rip and replace. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. It's not required, right? There are solutions that will be tailored solutions to fit your limited budget and to get real value of what you have. Get more out of your existing systems. And one of the technologies I'm going to talk to you about is the ability to overlay on technology just to make it work better. Bring diverse systems into a single communication ecosystems. I've seen people with carrying multiple devices, a pager for call, like a radio for this, an overhead PA system, a tablet for charting, having all these different things that you're trying to communicate and use can be a bit challenging. Well, there's ways to bring all that together and streamline that. Access to consolidated information to keep data in one place. That's the whole point of what we're going to be talking about today, is being able to bring stuff together so it's at your fingertips. You don't have to shuffle and dig and hunt. Improve communication between staff, management, and residents. I constantly hear this complaint they say it in different ways, but the right hand sometimes doesn't know what the left hand, or we're so busy we lose track, things like that, simply by, I wish we could just communicate better. I wish there was easier ways for us to communicate. Automated real-time monitoring and tracking of key systems, ensuring everything is working correctly. I hear the word, I don't know if I trust my system. I'm not sure when it's going to go down. I'm not sure when it's not working, things like that. Well, I want you to know there's ways that oversight can be automated so you can trust your system and know when things are working and you can rely on them. Understanding what capabilities are available that have yet to be deployed. Many people buy systems and the common thing is they use a percentage of the capabilities, or they don't know how to deploy it, or they don't know how to integrate it to other things to get the full benefit. I want you to understand there's ways that can be leveraged to improve overall efficiencies. Matt had this to say, technology is best when it brings people together. And in senior living, I can't think of an environment that's a more accurate statement. Using technology to bring your teams together because you have so few resources. So how automation can reduce the drain on your staff? Well, first thing it can do is it can automate manual tasks, which means more time for residents. You go, Mike, what does that mean? How can we automate tasks? Things like enhanced fall detection that monitors residents for movement and notifies when they fall, right? That you can trust on that. Automated temperature monitoring of hot water systems or refrigeration units, so you don't have to manually go and do those measurements. Things that you normally kind of hum and ho about, but being able to just get information and reports delivered to you. Automation around when residents have calls, escalation and reminders that can help versus start-stop type work. Consolidating multiple diverse systems into a single communication hub. This is one of the strengths that we bring to the table, is we can bring your old systems, newer systems together to help you, right? Empower your staff with peer-to-peer communication, saving steps and reducing unproductive start-stop work. Intelligent sensors that will give you virtual eyes on residents. Example I just mentioned, fall detection, being able to monitor and track your residents' movement and obviously alert when there's a fall. Monitoring key systems to ensure your systems can be counted on. One of the things that we can do is we can, for example, if you have a call system today and maybe you have pendants, I hear a lot of people say, yeah, our pendants, we don't know when they're working or if the battery goes out, things like that. We can monitor those things and prevent the expense of having pendants. When the pendant's battery dies completely, you throw it away. Well, we can prevent that. Okay, we can monitor those and let you know before that happens. We can even do automated service calls, monitoring refrigerations or boilers in the winter. If they go out, we literally can automate that and call your service provider on your behalf. So all these little things that we can automate can save time and help with your staffing. All right. Automate schedule reports. Who has time to go and run reports? Just have them in your inbox. Automate reminders and notifications of key activities in resident care. That's another capability. So you can have reminders of daily activities announced and communicated. It could be reminders of flu shots. It could be reminders of staff meetings. Any little thing that you're currently having to remember to do on a regular basis, a lot of those things can be automated today. And again, the little things always add up to big things. What about the use of my voice command and virtual assistants, allowing for quick note taking, to streamline charting as an example. That is available. You can do that, right? Digital content management. Maybe you have your facility where you have all the bulletin boards with today's menu and activities, and you're spending a fortune printing and someone running around and changing those bulletin boards. That can be digitized for you, and again, save time. Free up your staff from having to carry multiple devices. This is probably the biggest complaint that I hear. We were just at a facility. They are carrying 3 devices. They're carrying a pager, a radio, and a tablet. There are capabilities out there. For example, we have a capability that we have 1 device that will do all 3 of those things. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Another thing too is when you need help, where do you get help? For us, 1 phone number, you got the support you need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we don't pass you around. And that, again, little things through automation and streamlining can save time and reduce stress. Bill Gates, you guys all know Bill Gates. The advancement of technology is based on making it fit in so that you don't have to really even notice it. So it's part of your everyday life. That's what we strive for. And I would say probably most vendors would probably say the same thing, to be fair, is we are striving for a solution that you don't even realize is there. It's just helping you. And what we specialize in is helping you with your systems today to try to transform them into what Bill's vision is. So you don't hardly even notice it. Okay. So what can be achieved? We can eliminate the guesswork with proactive communication. We can save money by extending life of your legacy systems. We take old call systems, for example, we overlay on them and we can make them like new at a fraction of the cost of ripping and replacing. We can free up residents to live their lives. They don't have to be tethered in, or they don't have to have pressure pads for like those high risk residents. For fall, we have a solution that's just, it frees them up. It uses a 4D radar technology. I'm going to talk about it in a second, but they just live their life. Same with wander and access control. We provide those types of solutions again. So you can rely on those systems to watch over your residents and keep them safe. We can consolidate diverse systems into 1 communication system. I don't care if you have new system, old system, and you need to buy another system. We can bring it all under 1 roof, we call it an ecosystem for communication. Real-time announcements over 2-way radios or mobile apps. No more pagers. You can get rid of those pagers, right? 1 device to carry that can do it all versus multiple devices. Our mobile app I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes can take the radio, the pager, and the charting and convert it into one easy to carry device. Full integration with wander and access and fire alarm systems. So you don't have multiple alarm systems going off. It's all consolidated into 1 system, and we can make it a quiet environment. So the alerts are sent to the caregivers and they're not blared out down the halls, for example. Real-time view is who is taking calls and how long a resident has been waiting. So a mobile dashboard, so you can just see when the calls are coming up, you can see how long a resident's been waiting. You can see who's taken the call. and escalations. So if a call is not answered within a certain amount of time that you define, it will escalate with reminders, or it will start communicating out to other people, escalating up the chain of command to make sure that resident's taken care of. And we're talking about that smart escalations, being able to do that on a timely basis. So our escalations is reminders, voice, audio reminders can be played over, for example, the first call comes out, it's announced in 2 minutes, no one's there. It will send a reminder after 5 minutes, as an example. It can text, email, or call someone's mobile phone. And it will continue to escalate based on how you want to set it up until that call has been answered. Technology that's easy to use and you can count on. That's the other thing. You don't need a PhD to use these systems that we're talking about. Solutions that can be tailored to need and budget. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, but that's the whole approach. What we want to do at Advanced Wireless is look at what you have, leverage as much of the investment you have, make it work better, keep your costs down, but give you the value that you were expecting when you first deployed technology. You want something that's scalable and flexible to meet your changing needs. People say, we bought this system, we thought it was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but now things have changed and our environment has evolved and it doesn't really meet our needs anymore. I want you to know that there are solutions, including our solution, that's very scalable and flexible to meet your ever-changing needs. Eliminate and reduce manual tasks. We talked about that through automation, so just freeing up staff to provide better care and reducing stress. Monitor key systems to prevent unnecessary expenses or jeopardize resident care. Examples of that: monitoring refrigeration units, monitoring any type of medication cabinets that need to be at a certain temperature, making sure that if they turn off or malfunction, someone's alerted immediately so we can take care of that and resolve that issue before you have any type of loss. So with that said, those are all the things that can be achieved. Those are the challenges. So how do we do it? Okay, how would we address that? If you said, Mike, I kind of understand what you're saying here. Help me. Here's my situation. How do you do it? Well, we do it with what we call the One Platform. And what the One is, it is revolutionary in its design. All right, it's a technology designed to connect multiple business ecosystems or systems, integrate systems into one communication network. It can be used to build up, for example, a brand new nurse call system, or it can be used to overlay on an older nurse call system that doesn't have reporting, or it doesn't have, it just has lights, or a newer call system that has pagers. You don't want to have pagers and radios. We can overlay on that and scale that to meet your needs, right? So that's what the One is built like. I usually describe it, if you and I were sitting across having a cup of coffee, my technical description is it's like a Lego system, right? Where you have the base board is your One, and then the modules, the chips or whatever the kids use, those are the things and capabilities that you want. You may have an existing old system, you want to make it like new, plug that into the One system. I got a new wing opening, I need a brand new system, we'll plug that into the One system and deploy that. All right. Chris had this to say: using One Call Renew from Advanced Wireless, we have seen a dramatic decrease in extended wait times for our residents. We have experienced an 86% decrease in extended wait times. The One Platform is a great solution that is helping us improve resident care. So I just mentioned that. What is One Call? One Call is our nurse call solution. It can be used standalone, brand new, out of the box, call stations, pendants, dashboards. It's all there for your use. We also have this thing called One Renew. And what One Renew is the scenario I was talking about. You have a nurse call system today, but maybe the example I used, maybe it uses pagers and radios, and you're going, nobody wants to carry those pagers around. One of the things that One Renew can do is eliminate the need for pagers, convert that text message that would play over the two-way radios to streamline care. Okay. Another use of Renew is, let's say you have a really old call system with lights. So you got lights over the door, and you got a panel at your nurse station that lights up, and your team is chasing lights. Well, what One Renew can do is it can overlay on that and convert that light energy into a digital signal feeds it into our one call, okay? And you have state-of-the-art nurse call without the huge expense of having to go to every single room and deploy pendants or replace call stations. It's a very innovative approach to streamline how care is being delivered. We call that One Renew. Ryan had this to say. Here's an example. I looked at all the data on fall rates using One Renew with AWC's radios, and our fall rate decreased by 30%. And if you asked Ryan, he probably would tell you, well, one of the biggest things that we did is we were getting notified quickly of what happened, and we got to people. So if they're trying to get out of bed or get up out of a chair, that was one of the ways. Because when I saw this, I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But that's what he probably would tell you, but a significant decrease in falls. All right. When you speak of falls, we have a capability called One Watch. What One Watch is fall detection. It uses 4D radar to constantly measure a person's body mass as it's positioned to the floor. So with this, there's no tethers, there's no pressure pads that residents have to be bothered with. There's no pendants that they have to press. There's no cameras to invade privacy. What it does, if you've ever seen thermal imaging, imagine that in your mind. And you can see that body mass. That's basically what this 4D radar is doing. And it's highly accurate. So when a person goes to the floor, it will alert. And it's smart. So it knows if they're lying in bed, sitting in a chair, or on a sofa. It's going to know when they're in bed, when they're out of bed, when they're in the bathroom. It will monitor their activity. Okay, that's One Watch. One Mobile, I mentioned this earlier. One Mobile is a Android-based app that combines two-way radio functionality with a mobile dashboard. So your calls will come right to a dashboard and you can accept and see who's taking those calls. And it supports EHR applications. For example, Point Click Care has Companion. Companion is compatible and will run on this for bedside charting. 3 things in one. Another capability is temperature. I hear people saying, God, we have to walk around and take temperature readings, hot water readings at all the rooms. We have to monitor our boilers. We have to monitor all of our refrigeration units. And a lot of places like in assisted living, et cetera, where they have fridges in their rooms, we have to make measurements of the freezer and the refrigeration. Well, that can all be monitored through One. Okay, so you can monitor all of that, and it will take those readings, it will put it in a database, it will generate a nice report for the state to show that you're adhering to your policy, and it'll do one more thing. It has ranges, so if any temperature goes outside of range, too hot, too cold, it will alert. Same kind of idea around system functionality. Let's just say one of the freezers goes out in the middle of the night, it will alert and notify either your service provider or who's ever on call through a text, phone call, email, or an announcement over an open channel like a two-way radio. One Content. What One Content is if you've got manual bulletin boards that you're printing lots of stuff all over the place, that can be digitized, and we can put smart monitors up and you can control all the content throughout your campus through One Content. So what does one platform deliver? Improved real-time communication, one device to carry. It can renew legacy systems with increased capabilities, making them like new. Provides real-time reports. Our mobile device gives you access to EHR at the bedside, improving charting and reimbursement and communication, of course. It brings everything together in a single communication solution. And by the way, you can mix and match two-way radios with our mobile app. They'll speak to each other and communicate. We'll integrate all the alerts and alerts, I guess is the best term I can use, for wander and access control, resident call, fire alarms, peer-to-peer, everything is going to flow through one device. It's easy to manage frontline resident communication, keeping them informed, talking about that One Content, what's happening, what's the daily menu, etc. It's budget friendly, so give us an opportunity to talk with you and tailor a solution around your need and your budget. So who are we? I've mentioned this company called Advanced Wireless. I refer to us as AWC. We've been around since '92. We provide coverage across the United States and Canada. For sales and service, we have over 25,000 customers that we're proudly serving. And the technology that I just described in the one platform, we have a very innovative culture. We're constantly getting feedback from our customers on how to make our solutions help them address staff shortages and other shortcomings. We're constantly doing that. Our approach is very simple. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen to you. Then we're going to define existing systems and what you have and how we could possibly use those systems. We'll create a plan for success that we'll work together hand in glove on that. We'll refine and define value proposition for you. And then when you're comfortable and you're excited about this, we'll roll it out. And then it doesn't stop there. We have 24/7 support, one phone number to call us. We are factory direct and we are available 24/7. So that's our approach. Oh, before I forget, I know there's been a lot of shortages of different things, pendants and different things like that, even radios. We have two-way radios, probably the best radios in the market. 16 channels, they're powerful 2-watt radios. They have a flashlight. They've come with a 2-year warranty. Oh, and one other thing that our radios can do, they can answer phone calls. So they can integrate to your PBX system. And so you can forward at night, like when you're at the lowest staffing levels and calls coming in would then ring right to that radio. You just press the button and say hello, release the push to talk button to listen. So if you're interested in radios, we have a lot of customers. That's how they test us out. How we earn their trust is first with radios on that. So we're getting to the bottom of the hour, as I said. Let's get solving with the power of one. I'd love to have a chat with you. Here's my contact information. Please give me a call, send me an email, we'll give you a call. With that said, I want to say thank you to everyone who attended today and who's watched this. My contact information is here. Please feel free to give me a call. I would look forward to speaking with you. So with that, I'm going to end this session. I wish you all a very happy Thursday, and hopefully we'll be talking real soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.